Welcome back, everyone. My name is Smastian, and we're returning to continue our Sunless Skies run. We just finished up some business here at Magdalene's. Specifically, we delivered the seeds we were meant to deliver, and we are greeted again with a bunch of folk trying to shoot at a dreadnought again. Part of me wonders whether or not I should stick around in order to take advantage of the situation. Chiefly to see if I can gain some more salvage from somebody. But so far that doesn't appear to be... This doesn't appear to be going anywhere. So instead, going to check out the map, see where I need to go. And the answer is in this direction. Because in our hold, we have 3 crates of unseasoned hours, or barrels thereof. And we bought them for cheap. I think it was 56, what is our money? Any tooltip? Well, for 56 dosh, whatever it happened to be. Oh look, a marauder. Whoops. Ugh. Oof. Well, let's deal with this guy in quick order. Very good. Heck, we even managed to return, or avoid his fire. And... I'm going to strip it for materials. I've gained 10 hull, we're back up to 17, and as a result, we have to spend less money on it. And... I now understand why I was driven into the bluffs here. I was driven into the bluffs due to a bunch of wind. But in the meantime, we got our 3rd facet unlocked. Given that we were originally a Zailer, we spent some time in an insane asylum. So what do we take on now? Potentially the Scarred trait. If we want more iron, that is. A spell in prison for some mirrors. Perhaps we were involved in some sort of scandalous affair. A parade of debauchery sounds amusing enough. Perhaps we have a mentor. We can affiliate ourselves with villains. This probably has some... is making some reference to the Blind Bruiser at some point. I did take a bunch of contracts from the Blind Bruiser back in Sunless Sea. This is a potential avenue for us, lore-building-wise. Do we perhaps instead have a lost love? A moment of inspiration. It is good to love many things. For therein lies the true strength, and whosoever loves much, performs much, and can accomplish much, and what is done in love is well done. Worse things happen at Z. The sea does not forgive. It did not forgive me. The Untersea demanded a price. What did it demand from me? A year of my life. Lost overboard, but the drownies bore you out to their city beneath the waves to cavort and delight. After a year and a day, you awoke on the mud banks of London and wept. 4 otherworldly artifacts. Hmm. A narrow escape, perhaps? Can get a tale of terror and a vision of the heavens. Hmm. Do I continue with backstory lore, or instead I think I will choose the narrow escape option? Maybe. I don't know, there are so many good things to choose from. Hmm. I'm gonna go with backstory. I'm gonna take the mentor. Affiliate myself with the scummy underclasses, I guess. This is fitting, given what my character had been through. Whoops. But yeah, I guess I'll talk for a bit while we're going about our merry way towards port, about how I'm dealing with another marauder. Whoops. Ouch. Okay. That was nearly a bit disastrous, but we came out of that okay. And we can once again strip it for materials and get our hull back in shape. We'll learn how to do this at some point. And we come across another shipwreck in the meantime. Chassis is on the verge of collapse. I'll risk it, and we are successful. My boarding party follows me gingerly, through the rent in the wreck's side, the steel bones of the engine groan miserably. You'll need to hurry. Lifting your lamp, you lead your party towards the magazine. Your party gingerly scavenge boxes of ammunition, firing pins and other delicate components you might need for repairs. Then you hurry back to your locomotive in time to watch the wreck crack, split, and spill its remaining secrets into the sky. And we now have one carefully packed crate of munitions. Whoa! I'm sorry, what? That's an unfriendly thing to do, chiefly the spawning while I'm looting. Well, okay. Okay. We're getting the hang of this combat thing slowly. Okay. Now. Our hull is in good repair now, but I want it to be in better repair. And if I don't have to spend money on it, even better. And oh, what the hell, why not? Cool. Also, I've noticed that the locomotive does in fact suffer from a recoil if you fire your gun, which is nice. But it's still a bit too floaty for my liking. Anyway, let us loot the hold this time, now that we have, well, we have a point of cargo space, about to be 2. And, yeah, our hull is nearly up to full. So we find an intriguingly bulging sack. How pleasingly it rattles. A stoppered vial falls out of the sack after sufficient shaking, a collection of gathered disappointments that some might be willing to pay for. We now have 2 jumbles of undistinguished souls. But well, Bat, I'm sorry, but you have to go. We have a Cyclopean owl. Thank you for your services. Enjoy space. This is rather unfortunate because we were just on the cusp of, well, being forced to use some of our fuel. Actually, there's a thing. Can we stop at Barcelar's Folly? Or is this just like a piece of terrain, really? Oh, no matter. I guess I'll just enjoy the scenery while I'm on my merry way, and... yeah, I'm just gonna take a pass. If he wants to follow us, that is entirely up to him. But I'm quite content to head along towards New Winchester, given I only have 1 point of fuel remaining and a bit of a ways to go. Besides, there's a story for us to unfurl. We can't be dying to stupid things now, of all times. While we're on our way over, however, let's stop in at the company house and deliver a port report. After all, we are in service to the Queen this run. Very good. Well, let us hide the advice. And then the shops and bazaar. Well, sacks of verdant seeds. But really, what we're interested in is the company house. And the, secretary. We can trade favors for salon stewed gossip. We already have some of that. I don't suppose we need too much of it at the moment. But no matter. We get our standard text blurb for delivering the port report. 100 sovereigns. Wow, that's pricey. Well, the Tacadies are no doubt going to be cross with us for this. But oh well. We'll maybe focus on them in another playthrough. For the time being, however, yes, this is New Winchester. Very good. And before we start dealing with story-related stuff, let us turn to the shop, and specifically Victoria Market. Because we are interested in selling some undistinguished souls, a crate of nostalgic crockery, should we sell it? Oh. Ah yes, all of this has to be done before I actually press the sell button. I don't have a reason to hold on to this stuff just yet. The carefully packed crate of munitions, though, we might have reason to hang on to, but I think I'll actually sell it. I'm more interested in getting my ware, or the black box, to London. The barrels of unseasoned souls, however, can be dealt with. And, yeah, let us sell that, and let us buy some fuel and supplies, specifically to the tune of 2 each. Doesn't leave us a lot of cargo space, but oh well. We do also have 700 dosh to deal with, so let us head on to Abraham's Engineering, and maybe strap ourselves a mining array. Yes, I think this would be very good for us. Officers-wise, we have the Chief Engineer, and, we have to be in port in order to assign him. So there we go. And while we're in port, we can gamble with this fellow. Before that, let us read this blurb. The driver has no tolerance for uneventful voyages. When not on duty, they stare through the stained glass windows as if willing excitement to ride in on a wave of disaster. When they take the wheel, the rest of the crew grip the nearest available supports and whisper quiet prayers to various gods. Like Salt, I hope. Salt was my favorite. Salt killed me once. No matter. Let us gamble. Rumors not intended for your ears suggest the driver is running an illicit poker game in the hold. Caught in the act. You enter the hold and find the game well underway. The driver sits cross-legged in front of a pile of freshly won sovereigns and 3 newly impoverished members of the crew. A stoker angrily throws an expensive-looking watch onto the pile of winnings and departs in a fury. The driver looks up. Captain, care to make a wager? The driver deals the cards between the players. The cook and a crewman whose name you can't place at the moment watch each other with barely disguised suspicion. Behind you, a small crowd gathers to see their captain's coin. I'll place a bet and fail. You throw your cards down, not expecting to win. You are not disappointed. The driver barely even looks at their cards before going all in, claiming the pot with nothing more than a pair of aces. Oh, the scummy bugger. The other players glare sullenly, regretting their hesitation. I hear you used to be a test driver, says the quartermaster. The driver nods. You'd never have thought it. As a child, I loved my trains. Very ordered. A safe little space where they could go round and round and nothing could go wrong. It was only after the crash that I realized I needed more. I suppose surviving that taught me that there was more to living than simply being alive. Another round? Yeah, sure, we have cash to spare for the time being. Let's play another round. Well, we once again throw our cards down, not expecting to win. We are again not disappointed. The driver bets everything on a single pair. The cook claims the pot, however. Wait, you're a stainrod, as in leadbeater and stainrod, demands the crewman. And you're still taking coins out of our pockets? The driver shrugs. Black sheep of the family. We don't talk much. Not since the accident. Mother didn't approve of my new career, and father, well, anyway. They shuffle the cards, smiling with confidence. Never bet what you can't afford to lose. The driver deals cards between the players, the cook and a crewman whose name you can't place, but we step away from the game. That's enough of that. The remaining crew around the circle relax as you stand to leave. The driver shuffles the cards, ready to begin the next round. The crew needs a break. I guess this is harmless enough. I wonder what kind of consequences there will be. The driver nods to you, idly scratching an ear. Just for a moment, you spot something green winding around their finger. A dream snake, perhaps? Well, we are learning more. The driver has no tolerance. Okay. Converse with the incautious driver. They keep scratching their ears even while driving. A nervous tic? Or perhaps a sickness that might spread among the crew. What? Oh, yes, yes, yes. The driver scratches again. It's nothing. Just a little earache, I'm sure. It comes and goes. Their knee trembles with the frustration of being pulled away from the wheel for even this short conversation. See? All fine now. Let's push the issue. We'll order a visit to the doctor. Not necessary, the driver protests, scratching at their ear with renewed force. A look of pain flashes over their face for a moment. Perhaps. My family knows of a specialist in New Winchester. I think father owns the building. Maybe I can call in a favor. Hmm. Leave it be for now. Okay. We are at New Winchester then. Hmm. Maybe we'll find this guy's father somewhere here. But first things first, let us deal with a scrubbed clerk begging a moment of our time. I represent Halliges, the banking house. I promise this will only take a moment of your unquestionably valuable time. He produces a folded contract with a flourish. We hear promising things about you, Captain. Very promising indeed. We would like to extend our services. We provide a secure solution for the storage of your assets, absolute discretion, and a steadfastness unto death and beyond. We require only a signature. The offer is entirely complimentary, I assure you. At Halliges, we measure ourselves by the quality of our clientele. This will unlock a bank vault, allowing you to store and withdraw items at any hub port. Cool. There, it is done. I am certain that this represents the beginning of a long and warm friendship between ourselves and your lineage. May it endure. I bid you good day, Captain. So, click to transfer items between your hold and the bank. You will be able to access the contents from any hub port. If your captain dies, the contents of your bank will be inherited by your next captain. Okay, so they have a lighter inheritance system. It's not as painful as Sunless Sea, where you had to, like, throw down for a will and testament. But, yeah. I guess this is good. Locomotive repairs are unnecessary. Extra crew I will hire. Up to 3 or 4? Maybe not. Perhaps I can hold off on it. I mean, 8 out of 10 is nice, and we still have a leeway of 2 we can lose before we reach or the beginning of our threshold below which we do not want to fall. No matter. Let us explore the city a bit more. Ah, yes, we can escort the incautious driver to their family doctor. A silver plaque on the door bearing only a name indicates this as the new address of New Winchester's most exclusive practice. While the doctor conducts her examination, the driver asks you to update their old records with their current employment. You take a moment's pleasure in the driver's ridiculous middle name and pass over the field on gender, straightforwardly crossed out. Their address was last an eye-raisingly prestigious New Winchester townhouse. You amend it to the name of your locomotive. Ah, the doctor says, peering into the driver's ear. A case of verdancy, a fungal colonization of the brain, not uncommon in the Reach. You've noticed uncharacteristic impulses, changes in behavior. She eyes the driver's skysuit scars. The driver nods. Yes, the spores root deeply in the brain. Attempts to extract them have had less than satisfactory results. I'm afraid the best prescription is to entertain them. Take them where they want to go, see the things they want to see. Typically, a little travel does the job. They'll soon lose interest. Well then, the smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping, thronging, frantic heart of the Reach. Ah, yes. I guess we'll have to talk to the chief engineer a bit more. For now, however, let's visit the Promise of Days. I wonder if there's anything useful here, or is this just still tutorial stuff? Yes, we'd best be getting on. Onwards, then. Onwards to the bazaar, where there's a prospect available. The Admiral's China, crockery for Port Avon. Oh boy. London's erratic admiral is a tactical genius, but perilously fragile. Unless his daily routine adheres to exact specifications, his inspiration abandons him, and the loss of his tea set in a recent engagement has rendered him entirely ineffective. How very British of him. His Batman, currently recuperating at Port Avon, seeks an exact replacement. He will pay... What? iOS for each of up to 5 crates of nostalgic crockery. God damn it, why did I sell it then? Port Avon lies to the southwest of New Winchester. Completing this prospect will aid the Stovepipe's war efforts. Let us claim it. Hmm. I suppose I'm not too happy with the fact that I just sold off a whole bunch of that stuff, but no matter. Inspecting the bank, this is what we have in stock. Cool. But what I would like to check out is the hold, because there's a mining drill I'd like to take care of. And it's all good. I wonder, how much weight can we put onto this? So yes, literature and, well, crockery. Bloody hell, where will I find crockery? Well, I guess first things first. Let's perhaps examine things in this direction. Have ourselves a bit of an explore, so to speak. And try not to crash into anything on our way there. Ah, but there is something I want to do, and that is to converse again with this man. A communion with verdancy. The incautious driver paces back and forth, clicking their tongue. It must have been the crash, in the nature reserve. My father sent me there to take up a nice quiet job. I always did love botany. But when they pulled me from the wreckage, I had new dreams to follow. I thought they were mine. Now, how can I be sure? A new resolve washes over their face when they turn back, eyes sharp and sparkling with a flicker of emerald. Either way, I know where I have to go. Old Tom's Well. Give me the wheel, Captain. I have an appointment to keep. The well lies to the south of New Winchester. Well then. Oh, a conversation with the fastidious inspector. Oh, perhaps not. I think I've already gone through most of that conversation. So, it's a good thing we did head this way, because it allows us to start heading southwards. And in the meantime, we discovered Gabriel's archive. Is there a way to attach onto this port? Oh, I don't know. No matter. We have fuel and supplies to spare for the time being. We are not too far away from our hub. We can afford some detours. After all, exploration is one of my favorite things to do in these sorts of games. And besides, when the music is this good, like, would you rather be doing anything else? At least that's what I say for now. Let us send out the owl. Maybe it'll bring us news of where to go next. Nothing to report. Oh well. I wonder if anyone will mod in some sort of Thomas the Tank Engine sort of nonsense into this game. Well, unfortunately, we've yet to find where we need to go. And fuel is beginning to run close to dry, so let us send out the owl again. Ooh, it has found something. Let us take a gander. A derelict and some treasure. Well now, what do I espy? Cuddle's Comb. A spidery signal box, foggy with webs. Once it was part of the Isambard line, an old folly. The signal box is shrouded in grey. Close up, you see that the box is covered in delicate webs, studded with cocoons. From the blue and white pattern of one bundle, it appears a spider has trapped a teapot. We need those. Inside, beneath a desk covered with rusted levers, is a luggage trunk. Captains in dire need can borrow from the cache inside, but custom dictates they must later replenish it. Well, let us read the ledger. Captains who withdrew from the cache should note their name and ship and what they took. Occasionally, they add anecdotes. You will gain a vision of the heavens or sky stories. We now have 2 sky stories. The handwriting is poor, but legible. Captain Janeth deposited fuel in the cache, hoping to gain good luck. There is a column for miscellaneous notes. The captain writes of a homestead their locomotive passed when journeying from Port Avon. The buildings were in the style of old London. The nostalgia brought the crew together after a near-disastrous event with a chorister bee. I wonder what chorister bees are. Do we raid the cache? Let's go for it. A captain who takes from a cache must later replenish it. This may mean enemy aids enemy, rival succors rival, or succours rival. Better that than bad luck. The luggage trunk is sturdy and vast, large enough to have held a modest family's worldly goods on the journey through the avid horizon. Left here, it still serves those braving the wilderness. Let us take supplies. Whoever left these took care that the food was preserved and sealed away. It's still edible, with a bit of salt, maybe even pleasant. 2 engineers carry the crate from the signal box to your engine. The quartermaster will aid it to your store, or will add it to your stores. Should you write in it and accrue a debt, or take without leaving a record? Let us write in the ledger. You will owe a debt, but this is the done thing. Captain's name, ship name, home port, taking or depositing, reason. There's even a space for any notes that suit your inclination. Your crew may become anxious while it hangs over you. So we've gained a supply, and our terror remains unchanged. I guess we can resupply it. Well, we've paid off our debt. We were just exploring, after all. After all, we can't, or rather won't, afford the sacrifice, especially when we don't need to. Onwards and away. Though part of me wants to... Ah, yes. We have mining to do. God, you're so floaty. No, well, this is a way to gain money, I suppose. It does bequeath upon us a certain element of longevity that we otherwise would not have had. One of the engineers is singing. 1 for the engine, 2 at the dock, 3 from the parson, 4 from the clock. 5 from the stovepipe, 6 left for hell. 7 sullen candles burning at the well. Well, we've found ourselves a pretty place. Is this the well? We seem to be approaching a massive sky lotus. The driver points at Titania, flower of the reach. Father... Oh, come on. I was just reading that. Okay, so there are 4 different zones to go between. But what I'm interested in is, logs. Where do we find those? Oh no, I don't need you. Well, we've found a place called Valentine's Square. Okay, we can't approach like this, however. Gosh, this is stunning. Ah, there's our port. So, Titania, what do we have here? A city built upon a rose petal, or a rose flower, growing out of the abyss, seemingly. Titania is cupped in the petals of a colossal orchid. Okay, orchid then, sue me. Heady with scent, lurid with color, an enclave of bohemians have made it their home, seeking inspiration in the wildness of the Reach. Well, first let us check the bazaar. We can purchase undistinguished souls here. At a bargain, no less. Not a massive bargain, but at a bargain. The Sapphired Souk. A gourd of chorister nectar. Presumably this came from chorister bees. Well, fuel and supplies cost the same here as anywhere else. I wonder if Hell has a bastion here so that I can purchase fuel on the cheap. I reckon I ought to purchase some more, just to keep myself well stocked. But no matter. Let us tend to stories. In Valentine Square. Oberon's Landing. The port unfurls itself, welcoming you ashore. This perfumed haven was intended for thinkers, artists, philosophers, and poets. Instead, you enter its main dome to find yourself surrounded by arguing bohemians and the unfinished shells of buildings in a variety of styles. Nobody looks happy, but everyone agrees it's someone else's fault. Let us meet with the rhapsodic mayor. As first among founders, she gets Titania's only office. Only when the port is undamaged. Huh. Okay. Titania's petals fill the air with a perpetual perfume, but eventually you become accustomed to it. Even so, the scent of many flowers in the mayor's small office sends your senses reeling. Obviously unaffected, she sits behind her desk and gestures for you to take the other chair. Let us ask the mayor about Titania. How can a place like this flourish out here in the dark? A spectacular place, isn't it? We couldn't believe that nobody else had colonized it after all. Well, whoever built all the crystal domes and spires. Honestly, I can't believe our luck. Ask about work in the port. Even a place like this must want for something. The rhapsodic mayor shakes her head. I think you will find us most self-sufficient, Captain. Enjoy your visit. Take in some poetry. If I think of anything that we might require, you will be the first to know. Let us return to the main square, as there is nothing more to be done. Well, we obviously need to write a port report. Such a beauty, such a pity about the nearby chorister hive. What is Titania? A question with no easy answer. To the poets, a place of inspiration, to the stone workers, an untouched slab. To the playwrights, a blank page. A place of tranquility, of creation, and... Your interviewee pauses, suddenly looking worried. Do you hear buzzing? Apologies. Must get inside. Well, let us explore. Light sparkles through the jeweled petals onto the marble, white paths, or marble white paths. Wherever you explore, poets and singers perform their latest work, while artists peer behind canvases to try to capture the beauty in oil and chalk. In the horrors of the high wilderness, this is a place of safety and wonder where nothing could possibly disturb the peace. But what is that buzzing in the distance? I have an odd feeling that a big old bee is going to come down upon this place. Until then, let us go to the Porphyry Font. A veiled pavilion rests in the curve of one of Titania's great petals. Here the melancholy poet gathers stories from skyfarers. She then arranges to pass them on to any artist or writer willing to pay for inspiration to spur their brush or steer their pen. We can donate a sky story for 15 sovereigns and 10 experience. There's a better exchange rate the more of them we have stocked up, so let us hang on to them. Visions of the heavens are worth a lot, apparently. So are moments of inspiration, and captivating treasures even more so. For now, however, we will say no. And we once again set off upon our journey to find some sort of well, I guess. Though we have found something new. And that something new is more mineable matter. Or a tree, which we can hew. What did we acquire? Bronzewood. Hollowed from the vast trees of the Reach. Bronzewood is prized for its durability and its gleaming resin. Cool. Maybe we have to speak with the driver. Perhaps we've already found the well. Nope, we haven't found the well yet. But I remember that there was a text blurb about a sailor singing songs about the well. Marauders have encamped themselves here. Well, for now I am content to continue explorations. I'll send my Cyclopean Owl again, and ooh, hoo, hoo. Two at once. I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe the well is up here, and I just missed it. Oh, you lay off. Although I am tempted to fight now. Ooh. There is 3 of them, however. Uh-oh. Well, that's 1 down. Cool, let us loot in the middle of combat. Go for cargo, like a clasped jewelry box. And some more salon-stewed gossip. Yes, but supplies and fuel are starting to dwindle, so I'd rather not have to deal with this nonsense. Though a part of me wants to forcibly run out of food just so I can maybe become a cannibal, because, well, I mean, let's face it. If it's a thing you can do in this game, chances are you probably should be doing it. No matter, for the present time, we will once again get to enjoy the majesty of the big old orchid in the sky, and find even more bronzewood to claim. Though above all, as said before, I am most profoundly interested in where that port is that I am looking for. I mean, truly, how far do I have to go? Well, regardless. Along the way, we have things we can mine. Oops. Yes. A bit of an oversight, admittedly. Aw. We need a special thing for us saying this sort of stuff, and come on. Did I really have to slam into that? Was that absolutely necessary? I don't think it was. Well, potentially the well is found somewhere hereabouts. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, no, this does seem like it's directing us towards New Winchester. Yes, quite unfortunate. But so long as we keep things going nice and gentle, we shouldn't be running into too many difficulties, well, in terms of untimely captain death. Okay. I need to figure out a way to not damage myself on approach to these ports. Well then. For now, Victoria's Market is the place to go. Drop off. Wow, Bronzewood really carries a lot of stuff. Well, it's pricey is what I had in mind. Well then, let us buy something for the road. Yes, 3 and 5. That should be good. Nectar for Magdalenes. 3 gourds of chorister nectar. Sure, we'll hang on to it for now. Well, let's hang on to the 500 Dodge. We don't want to be getting too ahead of ourselves. Stories-wise, new things have shown up, like the ability to recruit the fortunate navigator. He is thoroughly examining our engine's pipework. Giggle. Crucial bit, this. Look how it's been maintained. Beautiful. Your stoker beams. That was me. A mid-flight patch, too. Well, he's eager for a new challenge, and I have money, so let's go. You won't regret this, Captain. The navigator pumps your hand. He is an Imperial, a people descended from ancient Mongolians and led by the Eagle Khan, whose technology opened the door to the skies. A passing skyfarer tussles the navigator's hair. For luck, the woman says with a grin. The navigator rolls his eyes. She's from my last crew. They thought I brought them luck. I didn't, but I'm still a good hire. Well then. We could explore the city some, but, well, there's nothing really too much to say. Any news from the front? Tensions mounting in the Gulf of Gloam. as the stalled Tackety Scout refuses any attempt to rescue by patrolling Windward Company engines. The captain has called in aid from a Tackety contingent on maneuvers near Traitor's Wood, which the Windward commander is unwilling to let approach. Bloodshed is expected imminently. About the balance of power. Nothing much to say there. Are they talking about me in the Gazette yet? Nope, my name still does not appear. Oh well. We have a certain Mr. Menagerie passing through New Winchester. A tattered poster by the station advertises the services of a Mr. Menagerie, purveyor of fine scouts. An accompanying picture displays a tall cloaked figure, slightly stooped, clutching an array of adorable little beasts close to its long chest. A pile of cages looms out of the smog. Well, we've already had our hands on a diffident bat before. We could potentially purchase a star-smitten bat, but... The diffident bat has limited range, returns after finding one discovery, and conveys little information about what it finds. Star-smitten bat has good range, returns after finding one discovery, and conveys little information about what it finds. It requires mirrors of 25 or more to use. The intrepid Kavi has good range, returns after finding one thing, but conveys more information about what it finds. It requires mirrors of 50 or more to use. The Ratronaut has good range, can find up to 3 discoveries before returning, but conveys little information about what it finds. It requires 75 mirrors or more to use. Interesting stuff. Though I can't say I'm particularly interested. Onwards I go. Well, we can apparently follow this guy around. Going to the Regent's Obelisk. I guess he's going to London. Well, so much for that. We don't have much else to do in port other than to assign this guy as our, well, first officer. Gives us 6 irons, 2 veils, and 1 more establishment affiliation. But in order to get to know him, we need to, well, curry favor with him by bribing him with tea. Which isn't fully unreasonable. I mean, he's a man after my own heart. I mean, I drink gallons of this stuff each day. Well, gallons. About 2 liters worth of tea each day. It's bloody good stuff. Although at present I'm not drinking it because it does a pretty nasty number on my throat. So if I ever need to, well, speak in front of a microphone, tea isn't exactly the best thing for it. Makes me really phlegmy. And on the note of phlegm, my voice is becoming rather tired. I spent a fair few hours today going over a podcast with another YouTuber going by the name of Kibbs. Do feel free to check him out if you will. But before that, I'm going to wrap the episode up, at which point I would like to ask you to leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscription, or do whatever else you feel is good. We have a bunch of interesting content on this channel. I hope you will check it out. Mine isn't the only stuff. My friend Fang, he's working on a bunch of Atlantic Fleet content at present. And Blorks, well, he's pretty busy with work overall. But he is working on a Kenshi series. So do feel free to check that out. Regardless, I have been Smastian. It was a pleasure reading for you again, and I'll see you in the skies.